What I love about Jon is he challenges everything. But you know what? If you don't have an answer, then you know it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can't answer the question. Now, there were times I'd answer a question, he still...
JoBlo from JoBlo, I'm going to start with you because there's a real delicate balance of finding a character and finding the relationship with someone on the spectrum. That's a powerful thing, and you have so much compassion there and so much frustration, which is very realistic. How did you find that? Did you work with people with autism? Did you know people with autism? Because that felt real. All of this feels real.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't really look at. I mean, he's who he is. You know, he's not his condition or whatever it is. I think that is a really wonderful opportunity that I'm enormously grateful for. You know, in the first film, you see Brax, but it's a very polished version. He's sort of cloaked in mystery. I mean, the whole sort of device is you don't know that they're brothers in the first one. And in the second one, you know, what Gavin and I always spoke about was that, you know, these two brothers, they grew up in this singular way. They went through the exact same sort of traumatic experience. And they're both guys that had real fluency with violence. The violence was imposed upon them, and they had to get real familiar with that. And that makes it really hard to relate to people sometimes, except for the people that you go through it with. And I think that, you know, what was really important to me is that in this version we were going to get to peek behind the curtain a little bit in Brax, that he was going to be every bit as messy, every bit as complicated, every bit as lonely as his brother, and that he's every bit as afflicted, you know, and you know, I was grateful for that, and you know, again, I feel like that hole inside of him really was this 8 years, you know, and it was present in every single scene. Yeah.
Gavin, first of all, Warrior is one of the best films ever made, one of my favorites.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You do such a nice job with these two films of portraying someone who has, you know, their issues, of these characters, and even the women. These are real, well drawn out characters. It's not just beating people up. What was the basis for this? Where'd you come up with this? The accountant one, the accountant.
Well, I didn't come up. So Bill Dubuque created the accountant. Okay. So, you know, I kneel at the altar of Bill Dubuque. It was all born out of Bill's beautiful mind. Without getting into his personal life, he understands the condition very well. So he was writing from a place of authenticity and truthfulness. He created Brax. So all that, I inherited a wonderful script. Mm-hmm. Now, when I got it, I did want to, you know, because I think any filmmaker, you know, I'm always just trying to figure, how do I make it personal for me? How am I going to explore my own shit through this material?
For sure. So
it became a collaboration with Bill of just kind of massaging things in a direction, some of those flashbacks and things like that were important to me. And then us figuring each other out just aesthetically, Bill and I. Once we got to the second one, then that became more of a collaboration, because there were things that were important to me that I wanted to explore in the second movie. Most importantly, you know, the idea of integrating the two brothers and having them try to fix their shit, all their problems, and so that was important to me. I also wanted to build a plot around human trafficking. That was important to me, and I thought taking Ray out at the beginning was a good idea, because it would be a personal story for the two of them in this investigation. But, you know, you give these ideas to Bill, and then he's got to go, you know, these are just ideas. You just got to go write it and create it. And then he, you know, all the Anna-E stuff, and that was all Bill. And then it became, you know, it's just going back and forth. You get the script, you know, so it's a great partnership with Bill, and then that translates to a partnership with these guys, because, you know, the work that we do is all in prep. And I always feel like as long as we just do all the work in the beginning, like I always say, you make the movie before you make the movie, in that prep, then I'm just kind of an audience after that. I just like put them in the situation, and then, but I didn't know them. Then I mean, magic just started to happen with these guys. Like he so took, Jon so took ownership of the character, and he always asks, really, what I love about Jon is he challenges everything. But you know what? If you don't have an answer, then you know it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can't answer the question. Now, there were times I'd answer a question, he's still. And I'd be like, well, just try it, Jon. Before you say no, just try it. So we go through that. But, and Ben had, there was a deeper understanding of the character of Ben because there was just more to do in the first movie. Yeah. He was on his own, and we didn't investigate Brax nearly as deeply as we did, and it was really important to investigate him in the second movie. And I'd work with this guy anytime, anywhere. It's just truly a joy because he so cares, he's so immersed, he's so just like it's like I remember someone said to me about Jon. I'm like, if I want Jon in my foxhole.
Yeah.
That's who he is. So
this movie shocked me in a way that, like the series, these two films, but this one specifically, the way your characters are written.
Yeah.
These are good characters. They are. You have this. You go through a lot with this. What was it like working with these guys and kind of getting into the skin of this?
Yeah, I mean, I love that you picked up on the fact that specifically for our characters, certainly as female characters, it's always, kind of a hit or miss situation in terms of like, is there going to be enough there to latch onto something and bring all the elements of yourself that you would hope to bring to a character, the complexity, and really do something with it and really take the audience on the journey with that character. And so this is the first time in my career, really, that I've ever revisited a character so many years later, and one that, I get stopped all the time. I love the accountant and Mary Beth Medina, and that's, so that's really special to me because you don't always get that. So to revisit a character and feel like, 9 years have passed, she has grown, I have grown. Hopefully that just kind of inherently is there. You just hope your own growth is kind of just in there somewhere. And then there's the script that you're given and the story that, the creatives have come up with to sort of take this, evolved character through her paces. And certainly for Mary Beth, she's kind of challenged at every turn by all these other complex characters, which is kind of like, that's the stuff that you hope for sure.
Absolutely. You do marvelous job. Same with you.
Thank you.
What was it like? There's a lot of meat here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was, I'd say it was a kind of part that I've never got to play before. I didn't know how I was going to do it because Gavin kept telling me, like, I don't want this to be like the T-1000. Like, there's got to be more to it. She can't just be a robot. So I was like, okay, but kind of, what do I do? And so I watched movie roles where actors killed it and they were saying a lot without saying much, and like Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men. Yeah. How do you carry danger into a room? How do you make people feel unsettled? And a lot of it is just, it's a little, borderline on having little empathy, and you're an apex predator and you're just after what you're after, and you're not really sort of plagued by fear or, and these other things that I am in real life. So it was a departure for me for sure, but also like everyone wants to play a villain. At least I do.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And you do. I mean, it's marvelous.
Thank you.
But I also don't, again, there's so many layers with both of these characters. She's not just a villain.
Yes.
You're not just the wacky cop that they get sidekicked. Gavin, what is it about him as a director? What does he bring to the table?
He brings everything. I mean, he's sort of at the end of the day, it's sort of it's a collective vision, but he really is the one that from the beginning, there's a real sort of attention to detail, and as thorough a director as I've ever had the pleasure of working with. You realize when you sort of come with a question, he has already considered every iteration of that question. And so you kind of, it's nice to feel like, okay, this has already been thought through. Nothing is arbitrary. No choice is arbitrary. And anything I'm bringing, it's being certainly considered and valued. And that's the thing. You want to feel your sense of value as an actor, that when you kind of pitch an idea or say, I feel really strongly about this, that you're heard and it's welcome. And it's not just sort of, you know, you're being placated because you dare to have an idea. So I think like the best directors to me are the best listeners, are the ones that trust you as the person that they have cast to bring all of yourself to a role. And I think that we all speak highly of Gavin because he's just that good.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.